3 years in business comes with its ups and its downs, so let's reflect. I'm the owner of Willow Pine Studios and the host here at Small Business Studios podcast. Well, today is our 3 years since launching Willow Pine Studios, and a lot has happened and changed in that time. So I thought I would take the opportunity to celebrate our 3 years and to reflect on what has happened in these past 3 years. And what a whirlwind it's been. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button or follow button because we publish new podcast episodes every Monday fortnight where we share information and tips that you can put into action straight away to make your small business a success. Where did it all begin? My business, Willow Pine Studios, began in March 2020. Like a lot of small businesses, 2020 was the year to launch. I've actually been in business since 2015 under a different name. And I was originally called This Girl J. This Girl J started off as blog posts, which then turned into product reviews, and then on to selling my artwork and pieces that I created. And in 2020, I was close to finishing off my graphic design diploma, and I was ready to start diving into graphic design full time. For my last assessment for my diploma, I actually had to come up with my own brand identity for what my business could look like as a graphic designer. And I ran with it. Seeing it come together in that assessment just made me so excited to jump into it. However, Willow Pine Studios did not actually continue to be a graphic design agency. It was a platform that I could reach other people, show that I do graphic design, but actually be able to sell my artworks. I really actually didn't even know my niche at that point. However, I was able to grow my name, be able to meet some incredible small businesses, which I call my best friends now, and actually find my niche and my calling. 2020 was a crazy year for everyone all around the world. With COVID hitting and isolating, it was just completely different. A lot had happened in 2020, so let's reflect on some personal achievements and happenings in that time. So my now husband and I started dating in 2018, however we did break up for a period of time. And in 2020, we actually rekindled our relationship. It was like any romantic movie where we ran into each other and we sat down and we spoke like old times. And we found out that we really never lost feelings for each other. Fast forward between 2020 and now, we got engaged and married in that time. So the name Willow Pine Studios, it took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do with the name. I didn't want it to be my own personal name because at the time I wasn't in a relationship and I wasn't too sure if I would continue with my maiden name, which I didn't. So I decided that I would like to go with something that meant a lot to me but didn't really make any sense to other people. Probably not a smart move. So that's where Willow Pine Studios came from. Willow is my dog. I got Willow at the start of 2019 and she's absolutely changed my life. The name Willow that I actually named my dog after was we would go on road trips as kids and we would go past willow trees and my dad would tell us that even though there's not always water where a willow tree is, it generally means that there's water under the surface. And I just love it. I just love the way that willow trees look, but also the idea behind them that they're growing and they're thriving in these situations where there's actually not even visible water. And then the second part of our brand name is Pine. And it's a bit silly, but I remember walking home from school and picking up and collecting all these pine cones with my mum. And it's just an awesome memory I have. So it's a bit of my dad, my dog, and my mum. In 2021, I also got a job in media doing marketing. And I absolutely loved it. I got to meet some incredible businesses, but it also took up a lot of my time and I was unable to throw any time into Willow Pine Studios. So Willow Pine Studios took a bit of a back burner in that kind of last 6 months of 2021. I'm also a massive advocate on mental health awareness. And I'll be honest, my mental health in this time was not great. I was overworked and underappreciated and I couldn't do the thing that I loved, which was my business. I think we made a couple of $100 in sales in that year and that was it. One of the businesses that I would consult with marketing, they actually asked me one day, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? I said, I'd love to just work on my business. And they said, well, you can't throw 100% into it right now when you're giving your 110% for another position. So a couple of weeks later, I handed in my resignation at my corporate job and the rest was history. I threw everything I had into Willow Pine Studios and now it is a successful graphic design agency working with businesses all around Australia. and we're starting in the UK too. In December 2022, we also launched this podcast, and in January 2023, we launched our YouTube channel. So much has happened in this time, and I'm so grateful for all of your support and believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. This podcast I've created so that I can show everyone out there that they can create a small business no matter their background. In 2018, I was actually homeless for 6 months. So from homeless to now owning my own home with my husband and owning my own business that is quite successful, I think that's awesome. And sometimes we forget to look back and see how far we've come. Well, I don't want to get emotional, so we are going to end it here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, it's just an absolute awesome day. 3 years, Willow Pine Studios, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for us. I have massive things planned. Make sure you don't miss a thing and follow us on Small Business Studios podcast and Willow Pine Studios, and we will see you there. Again, thank you for the support. I could not have done it without you. Bye.